Hello, we have a quick update from the Auction Anything development team. Just want to give you some insight as to what we've put together for the new boards module within the Auction Center. This is primarily for on-air broadcasts for our clients that are doing media-based projects. And the new board console or management console is set up into three sections. You have the left pane here, which shows the listing of the boards. When you first come into the console, you'll see the instructions in the center, and then the right pane will allow you to find items that you can associate with the board. So let's jump into it. We have some test boards here from the past, which you can scroll through and take a look at, or you can filter them by boards that are open only and get rid of some of the boards that are closed. You can also filter by today's boards or just refresh the whole pane. Now, when you first set this up, you can go into the board settings section and configure a couple different settings on how you want the board console to function in general. We won't get into that right now, but that's something you should set up to begin with. So once you get in here and you select a board, you'll see items over here in the center pane, and you'll be able to manipulate those, drag them and reorder them if you want, or remove them from the board if so. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and add a test board here. So this is a new test board. We'll go ahead and set the time. Note that the time and date are based on the system settings. So this example here, it's in Central Time. So just keep that in mind when you set up your boards. I'm going to go ahead and save this. It'll go and automatically select the board for you to bring in new items. So you can go over to the right pane and access items that are not boarded yet. So for this example, we'll go ahead and we'll just pull in a couple items here. It's drag and drop functionality. You can also go ahead and reorganize things by dragging them here. Once you make a change, you want to go ahead and save that. Whether you enter, pull in new items or remove items or reorder the items on the board. So you'll have to go ahead and save your changes. Now note here, when I set up this board, I set up a closed board by accident. So we'll go ahead and the edit functionality here, and let's go ahead and change this to 7 p.m. and we'll just have it open for 5 minutes. I'll go ahead and save this, which will get rid of the closed board display. Now, when you're managing the board contents, you can go ahead and delete items using the trash can icon here, or you can reorder things like I mentioned. Just make sure you save your changes afterwards. With regard to deleting a whole board, you can do so here, or you can just clear the contents of the board if you want to delete everything at once that's on the board. So now we'll demonstrate the display property of the actual board. We'll select a board from the left pane and then go ahead and select the display button in the center. Pull our board display over. This is the actual display that would be on air. This board happens to have 6 items. Through the settings console, you can choose default backgrounds, how many items you have on the board. You can enter your own custom background if you want, and you also have some options regarding the display. In this case, we're showing the high bidder and their location in the second line. You can also show the donor recognition in the second line, or you could keep it simple and just show the item and the title. This case shows the system generated item number. You can also, if you use your own product ID or your own lot number, you can display that instead. The font sizes are also controlled from the settings section, as well as the refresh rate. So by default, this board's going to update every 5 seconds, and any bidding activity is going to show up in yellow. And of course, you have the value and the bid on the right side of the board. We'll finish up the tutorial by taking a look at the right pane, which contains all open items. So the goal with the right pane is to be able to get the items you want put on the board you want as quick as possible. So we'll take a look at board over here on the left side, which doesn't have anything on it yet. And you'll note that there's two main filters. You can find all open items that are not boarded, and those will display the title, the value, the current closing time, and a thumbnail image. Note that you can pull those items over to the center pane at any point, reorder them as you like. Make sure you save your changes to update the board. And if you want to locate specific items, you can use the filter to find specific items matching your request. You can pull those over and save them accordingly. Also note that you can clear the filter quickly and also see all the items that are open. The ones that are already boarded will have the board name in red and will be grayed out. So if you need to do any rearranging of items that you put on another board and you want to make some adjustments, you can do so quite easily by accessing the associated board they're on and pulling them off. So that's a handy mechanism to utilize as you're boarding items. You can also sort your results. Sometimes value is very important on how you're boarding your items, so you can adjust that accordingly, and it will be ascending by value, so the highest values will be at the end. Once you fill up your board, you're all set to display accordingly, which we covered earlier. If you have any questions regarding how the board system works, please feel free to submit your request through the help desk, and we'll be happy to help you. Thanks for watching.